Hello, my name's Mark Halm, and I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Self-Storage Quick Start Academy. And I help people who are getting in the self-storage business, and I help people who want to grow their self-storage business strategically acquire self-storage in a way that creates true wealth and a fulfilling career. And this is the third in a series of 4 episodes about creating the mindset is very powerful for creating your self-storage business. And here's what I've learned over working with hundreds of people is that knowing what to do and how to do it is great. But what determines whether you're successful or not is the relationship that you have with success and with your business. That's why, in my opinion, these 4 episodes are critical for creating your self-storage company. Because here's what I'm committed to. You don't create a business that 5 years from now, you don't want to wake up and go to work in. And I see it happen time and time and time again, that people create a business by default rather than by design. And what gives an entrepreneur, a person creating a self-storage business, real power is creating by design. And that's what I want to talk about today, is I really believe that the next step in growth for human beings is to move from a competitive mindset into a creation mindset. You know, hundreds of thousands of years ago, the world was a very competitive place. And if you didn't win, you could die. And that has been grooved in our brains, and it's not personal, it's there for everyone, and we are born into that conversation and that way of relating to the world, and then we intellectually begin to create something else for ourselves, like an abundance mindset or a win-win strategy. But what's really in the background is this competitive experience of the world and of life. And then when you go out to create your self-storage business, it's created inside the context, the worldview of it's a competitive world, and you're trying to create a business in a context of there's only a limited amount out there. And so what happens is it gets hard. So going to a creation mindset where you're literally creating your business and creating your success has never been more critical, particularly in a seller's market. Because if you approach the seller in this competitive mindset, you're not going to be buying very many self-storage facilities, because I'll guarantee you the seller's going to win. So what I'm going to talk about today is like taking the training of win-win and jacking it up and putting it on steroids, because we're going to create a powerful way to create real win-win situations that you can use when dealing in a seller's market and you're getting in the self-storage business. First of all, competition's not bad. Competition just is. Competition is the undistinguished conversation that's in the background as we go out and create our business, any business, but self-storage business in particular. It's in the background, but what is in the background and not clearly identified, that's what controls what's possible for you. So when you begin to get your relationship to how you really are behaving and acting in the world in relation to the competitive, scarce nature of how buying and acquiring self-storage occurs to you, when you begin to get that, don't judge it good or bad, then it's no longer in the background and it's no longer driving the bus for you, because you're distinguished it. And then once you do that, you have the power to create whatever you want to create, and that's no longer undistinguished and driving the bus. So just get what's so about your relationship to it, and then decide if it serves you. If it does, continue it, but then you'll be continuing it with power, or create something different. I created that I'm creating. I don't have to have someone else lose for me to win. I just created that. And I'm not creating that on top of an undistinguished conversation that the world's really hard out there. And if I win, you've got to lose. So that's the first thing to do. Just get what's so about your relationship to the competitive nature of the world out there. Then, when you're looking at a project, the real art of this is to really connect with the seller. Now, that's easier said than done, and I get that. And very often your connection may be, or at least start with, the real estate agent has the property listed. But here's what I want to know. I want to know the story behind the project that's on the market. I want to know who developed it. Why did they get it? What are they trying to do? Where are they going? And here's what I've learned, is that if you can powerfully help the seller achieve their goal, then that increases your odds of being able to put that facility in your portfolio in a way that really forwards what your business strategy is up to. Now, it's easier said than done, but by really getting what's so for the seller and what the seller's really after in their life and helping them get that, that drastically increases your odds. Now, you may be thinking, I know what the seller wants. The seller wants money. He wants the most money he can get. You ask the seller that. That's what they think they want. But here's what. I promise you, it's not the money. I promise you it's not the money. It's what they think the money's going to give them. That's what they're really after. And my suggestion is get what that is. Find out what that is. Then as you're designing the deal and helping them win, or you're communicating with them, you're talking to that vision of what they want for themselves, not the money. Talk about the vision they want for themselves. So what does that look like? Well, if you read the book I wrote called Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, I chronicled kind of two transactions. One transaction was all through the book. I would talk about something and then talk about a transaction we were doing, and I would apply that. Then at the end, there was the case study. The case study was on the one transaction that we have done so far, and by the way, that's still true. That's the one transaction we did where we did not exceed the 10-year cash flow. But as I was putting that deal together, it was during the 2007-2008 meltdown. So I was dealing with a father and son team who owned that facility, and I quickly saw that it was the son who was the decision maker. And I started communicating with the son, and I really wanted that storage facility. I saw that as a way to get in the business. I'd been out for a few years and I really wanted to get back in. That was my first facility getting back in the industry. And what I saw with the son was that the son was very proud of what he created. He was young, in his early 30s, in his 20s. He had created he was a solopreneur, a single insurance agent, and he created an insurance product. He sold his company and that product for a lot of money, and then he took that profit and put it into a self-storage facility that his father was building. And not only did he do self-storage, but he did some research and he created a record storage company in the self-storage facility that helped him generate income quicker. Literally, in the record storage business, you get paid for cubic feet of storage rather than square foot of storage. And he was very proud of that. But what I got was he really didn't like managing people. He would tell you he's good at it, and he had a great company, but he did not like overseeing and managing people. His experience was, he never said this to me, but his experience was, look, I'm young, I'm smart, I've created all this money, and I've created a company that requires me to be there and requires me to manage these people, and if I'm gone for too long, all hell breaks loose and it doesn't run smoothly. I have got to be there. And what he really wanted to do was to take this wealth that he's created, that he's smartly created. He related to himself as smarter than other people. Perhaps he is. And he wanted to use that wealth to create a lifestyle that gave him the freedom that he thought the wealth would give him, and this facility wasn't giving him. And when I got that, that's what I talked to. That's what I spoke to. Anytime I communicated with him, email, text, on the phone, in person, I would constantly create that vision of what's possible, that he could take this money, 1031 it without paying capital gains tax, put it in triple net leases where he's getting income off of it, and it doesn't require any management on his part. Literally, if the building burned down, the tenant would build the building back with the tenant's insurance. And that's what I created and spoke into. And believe me, it was a hard transaction. Financing was disappearing. We had a conduit loan that disappeared as Wall Street collapsed. I had to scramble and get bank financing, and I had to take him on that long ride with me and keep it going so we could close on it. And what had that, or helped do that, was his vision on what the money was going to give for him. Could he have gotten more money somewhere else? Probably, but his relationship to dealing with me is, if I hang in there with this guy, I'm going to be able to get what I really want in life, and I kept that present for him. That's what I'm talking about. Find out what's really driving the sellers, and then speak to that, create a transaction. It helps them get that and supports that in getting that, and they will want to deal with you over everybody else. They might not even know why, but they will want to deal with you. That's a powerful way to create true win-win and relate to creating your self-storage business inside a mindset of abundance. I invite you to explore that, to play with that, and to create something like that for yourself. It'll support you more than you ever know, particularly in your relationships, when you develop the skill to get what's really driving someone and then speak to that and not be dealing with all the stuff there is in front of you to deal with. That's real power. Thank you very much. My name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Storage World Analyzer, a powerful financial analysis modeling tool for the self-storage industry. It's particularly good for people who don't relate to themselves as someone who's good with numbers or good with spreadsheets. It'll walk you through step by step how to analyze a facility, what the potential cash flows are on a facility, and it's a very strong, powerful tool with beautiful reports. Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage.com, StorageWorldAnalyzer.com. Thank you very much. Go create real abundance and real win-win situations as you grow your self-storage business. I'll talk to you later.